it's Liz from Old Staples Craft. How are you this Saturday morning? I have to say, I'm recording this earlier in the week and the weather has been dreadful. There is a possibility we might have some more flooding. So, happy day. Hopefully, we'll be all right. Anyway, enough of that. Let me flip the camera down and show you what we're going to be using. So this is the Cutest Cow stamp set. It's in the new mini catalogue. It does with this punch, which I have elected not to use. So you've got 3 cow bodies, and I'm using the one that's lying down, but you've got the standing female cow and the standing male cow, so bull. The one you would use this with is actually the bull, because otherwise you're going to lose some of the detail in there. However, so you would use this body and either of those 2 heads, or you could build your own cow from cardstock. There are also, let me bring this up so you can see it, there's a chicken family, so we've got a little baby chick and then mother and father chick. If you're using the punch without using the stamps, we've got a nose, mouth, eyes and horns if you want to put horns on. And then the sentiments are, the little things you do make such a big difference. Holy cow! Congratulations. What's moo with you? Milk it for all it's worth. Thank you, and it's your special day. We've also got sunflowers, so for me it's a winner before we even start. There's a bell to put round its neck. There's grass, there's a milk churn, there's a separate standalone flower. So lots and lots to play with. You can see the card that I'm going to show you how to make today. This uses tuxedo black ink and the new first assortment of watercolour pencils, and I emphasise new because the colours are slightly different from the original first set. And I've got It's Your Special Day and Milk It For All It's Worth surrounding it. I'm thinking I might add the single flower, because that is rather a gap. So let's get that. Oh, we could add, oh no, then it's facing the wrong direction. I was thinking we could add one of the chicks, but the mother chick, which is the one I was looking at, faces in the wrong direction. There are ways to deal with that, but not on a simple stamping project. So let's add our flower just to fill this space, which I think looks a little empty. So I'm just inking that up and we'll just add it down there. I'll leave that to dry, and when I do the second one, so when I show you how to make it, we'll colour that one as well. So let me start. I should show you the envelope, shouldn't I? Is it that one? No, that's the blank. So the envelope has the cockerel in the corner. Now, I've learnt a lot about American envelopes in the last week. To see of the comments on my channel. You can leave a comment in the just below the description bar. Always very happy to get people to comment. I'm going to start with the Milk It's For All It's Worth, because that's a good place to position things from. Anyway, so I gather that in the US, and I don't know whether this is North America, so I don't know if it's Canada as well, but definitely the US, you are required to put a return address, and it goes on the top left-hand corner of your envelope. In the UK, you are not required to put a return address, but if you do, you would be more likely to put it on the back of the envelope. In fact, you'll be most likely to put it here, just across the top, but you're not actually required to do it. So I'm learning new things all the time thanks to your comments. So I've got my lying down cow body, and I'm tucking the tail into this space between special and day, like that. And then to get the head lined up, I'm going to be lining up kind of the cheek and the base of the mouth with these two lines here. So I can see through, it's a photopolymer stamp, so I can see through, and when I can see those lines, I can just place my stamp and we get it beautifully lined up. And then the only other thing we need is the flower that we've decided we're going to add because it fills the gap. So there we are. Could put the milk churn, milk it for all it's worth. While I've got the ink pad out, I will stamp the envelope in a position that, as far as I'm aware, works globally. Bottom left-hand corner. Am I on camera? Just about. Ah, what a surprise, it started raining again. Happy day. I'm not colouring the cockerel, that's just there for being there. Let me use him to cover up that reflection though. So we are going to need an extra colour or two out. So this is the new set of colours. We have lost Rich Raspberry, but we've got, in lieu of that, just want to check I'm right, yeah, Fresh Freesia. We have blue now instead of Pacific Point, and I can't remember which the other colour was that we got rid of. Anyway, we now have Pecan Pie, and it's Pecan Pie that I am going to be using. Rich Raspberry and... no, can't remember. Can't remember. I have to go through my original set and work it out. Right, so let's finish off this one with an orange centre to our flower and yellow petals. So I've got Pecan Pie and Daffodil Delight. Now obviously you can have your flower any colour you want it, or have a milk churn. While I've got those out, let's do this one as well. So pumpkin pie, did I say pecan pie? I meant pumpkin pie. I will be using pecan pie. I do find it slightly confusing that we have two pies, both beginning with P. I mean, obviously, if we're going to use the word pie, it would begin with P because we do alliteration. Right, so I've got out Calypso Coral, Pecan Pie and Early Espresso. I'm using Pecan Pie for the markings. Now I have to say most cows in the UK that aren't Jersey cows would be black and white cows. But I'm doing a brown and white cow. But the vast majority of our milk stock cows are black and white. I want to say Frisian? Who knows? So I've got Pecan Pie there, there and there. I'm going to have a Pecan Pie. This isn't a cow, this is a bull because he's got horns. Clearly lying, chewing the cud. And then Early Espresso for hooves and horns. One of the lovely things about this glass mat is that it's a really good surface for colouring because it's a solid surface, so it means you can get a good layer of pigment out of your pencil without having to press too hard because the surface kind of does it for you. So Calypso Coral over the nose. And then our card is done, apart from moving the ink around. And I'm just going to get a little scrap of basic white, which I will need. So I'm going to start by doing the flower on both. And actually I should have started with the yellow, because then I wouldn't have had to have cleaned my nib for the next colour, because yellow onto orange works quite happily. So this is the Stampin' Blend Colour Lifter. It works really well at moving the pigment around, but doesn't pill the paper. You do have to watch you don't put the nib in one place for too long, because that will make the pigment sink through. So I'm going to start on the Calypso Coral and just move that pigment around, and it just smooths it out beautifully. And then I'm going on to his fringe and his spots. And tail, that's all pecan pie. And then I'm going to go straight on to the hooves and then the horns. I'm not worrying about getting the pecan pie off my blender, colour lifter, sorry. They're both brown, so that works fine. So there we go, and I'm just going to scribble that off. Now you can use a blending pen instead, or blender pen instead. Just be careful that you don't stay in one area for too long, because it will pill the paper. So let's fold our card and burnish. If you don't already have a bone folder, and I mean a really good bone folder, these are actually made from a byproduct of the beef industry in the US, and they are shin bone. So if you are vegetarian or vegan, you probably don't want one of these, but you do want a really good bone folder to get a nice crisp fold. So there we have our card all done. Where did I put the other envelope? I've hidden it somewhere. It's fine. So let me bring in my there it is, my two stepped up versions. So first one is this, which is just a fold back, so it's score in the middle, then score in the middle of the left hand panel, and then I've got two sets of dies. I've got the stylish shapes for the pecan pie, and then deckled circles for the basic white layer. The paper is from the 6x6 colour family packs, and I thought having the hearts was quite fun, and I've changed the sentiment stamps so that I'm stamping in pecan pie. And then I've got Granny Apple Green Grass, and then these pearls are from the 2022-2024 iridescent pearls. Is that what they're called? Oh no, they're just called in colour pearls, but they are iridescent. And these are actually the Parakeet Parsi, but they work well for any of the bright greens. I've used pecan pie and bubble bath blends, and then to get the darker I've used the SU 200 and 100, which is the deep set blends, that's the word I'm looking for. So that's where those colours come from. And then for my further stepped up version, same basic fold, I've used a bit more paper, and this actually is die cut into the card front, so it's partial die cutting. I've then layered the pecan pie piece over the top, and we've ended up with a very similar looking card, but this one just has a bit more technique involved. So there you go. So we've got our really stepped up, our first stepped up, and our original, and those are today's Simple Stamping Saturday projects. So I hope you've enjoyed watching that and see can see the development. I should say that this was one piece of the 6x6, so that worked really quite well. So if you wanted to do these, you'd be able to get 3 out of 1 sheet of the 6x6 paper. Just by leaving a little bit of a margin, you end up with enough for 3 panels. But there we go. So let me flip the camera back up so I can say goodbye properly. Oh, there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you've got any questions or comments, you can put those below the description bar in the comment section. I am up to date with my comments, so you could, if you leave a comment, then I'll get back to you really soon. I am away on Sunday, so tomorrow, as you're seeing this, at a team event, so that will be great fun. Can't wait to go to that. So yeah, have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Bye for now.